Joining us now is Dr. Julian Bales, former team doctor for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dr. Bales, thanks for being with us this morning.
Julian Bales was the first clinician in the country to support Dr. Amalu's research. And since discovering CTE, they've gone on to study the brains of other deceased players.
I have been a sideline physician at the NFL level or NCAA Division I level for the last 25 years. And currently am on the NFL Players Committee. I've been an advisor for several years at the NCAA, and I'm the medical head of Pop Warner Football, which is the oldest and largest youth football in the U.S. I was first contacted by Greg Merrill concerning the Arena Football League and looking at clinical protocols and best practices for concussion management. But really soon came to find out that what he had was what I thought was an incredible and probably the solution we had been looking for in biophysics of football, and particularly for accelerometers. And I thought the Brain Sentry solution was the best I had seen. I think all levels of play, starting at youth, are going to look very closely now at the concept of having a helmet instrumented. For me personally, I think the era of dumb helmets, where you have no clue how many hits or impacts the brain inside that helmet has sustained, I think that day is quickly coming to an end. I think this may be a big part of the solution that we're having in contact sports such as football, maybe lacrosse and others, hockey, but I think we need to know what's happened to that brain inside that helmet. And I have had experience with others. They all do what they intend to do, but there are limitations. And I think the limitations are overcome in great part by the Brain Sentry solution. The basic design of Brain Sentry and its price range makes it the best solution thus far of any product on the market.
I think the one great thing about football, and one of the great things about America, is that we evolve very quickly. And this is obviously a problem. The concussion issue has come to the forefront. Being a tough guy is really important to a lot of kids that play sports, and they don't want to acknowledge that they have to come out of the game. Most kids play sports because they love playing the game. As a coach, you have an awful lot of things to do. In terms of dealing with parents, in terms of administrative duties, making sure the fields are lined, everything. The fact that once it's put on, it's very easy to put on the helmet. Once it's put on the helmet, it's just a matter of watching the lights. If the light's red, let's get attention, let's have someone make an evaluation. The response that we've had from parents here at the All-Star Game has been fantastic. Number one, they're thrilled that we're concerned about their son's safety. Now, most coaches are very much concerned with that, but there are times when you need to prove it to the parents, and this is a way of proving it. What I can tell you is that I went to a youth practice, and we were experimenting with the sensor in terms of this kid had had a concussion the week before, and we put it on his helmet, and every mother that was at the practice asked if she could buy one, even though there was only one game left in the season.
We can't say, we're not doctors, we can't say, he has a concussion. We say there's concussion-like symptoms. We look at their eyes. That's why we don't like black under their eyes anymore, so we can see their eyes better. If they look wobbly, if they don't know where they're going, we make sure the coach takes them out, and that's our main thing, is the safety of the kids. I think they think they're inferior if they go out, and they want to play the game, and it ends up hurting the team more than helping them, but they don't realize that. I tell the coaches, they're more aware of it now, and they're not willing to take that chance to put the kids back out there. But the kids have to make the first obligation to tell the coach, "Coach, I'm hurt." We see that red light go off, we're taking them out. I like it, because it's going to make it easy for us.
There have been some times, in fact, one time he was on the field and he got hit and he said he couldn't find his words for a few minutes. And but they've been very, protective. He always wears his equipment, but I think there's so much more that we're learning about it. I think it's something we need to be very diligent about. Because it's the culture a little bit, the culture in football, pretty much tough it out, and they want to stay on the field, they want to play. I think that's what it is. And some may not be aware of some of the symptoms they're feeling. I was really happy when he came home from practice and he had that on there.
Like some of his games, he's been hit pretty hard, and I asked him, like, were you okay? He was like, yeah. So, but then again, it's a kid, and he'll probably just say everything's good so he can keep playing. The kids aren't going to admit it, so at least if the red light come on, even if they didn't have a concussion, they can get checked out to make sure that everything's good, and if it's good, then they can go back in.
I'm here because I'm so proud of him, of course, and with the sensors that Brain Sentry is now trying to introduce to all the high schools, I just wish we would have known back in the spring, because my son suffered a pretty big concussion from lacrosse season last year, and he's a student at Baltimore Lutheran, and it took him out for the season. And now, this is something I'm hoping they're going to introduce. We took all the information back to Baltimore Lutheran, so I'm really hoping that they consider doing this for football and lacrosse. In my son's case, he didn't even really understand he had a concussion. He kept playing that game. He played another game, and then he started feeling very fuzzy in school and, just not being able to concentrate. So we had him tested, and it absolutely was a concussion. Maybe things wouldn't have been as bad if he would have known that game that had happened. They would have taken him out then. If he had the sensor, they would have known. So I'm really hopeful about this Brain Sentry. I am.